Welcome to Basic Course in Maithili. In this lesson, we will learn how to introduce ourselves by asking and responding to basic questions. Along with that, we will also look at some of the vocabulary used. This lesson, we will give you a feel of how Maithili sounds and at the same time help you learn some basic vocabulary and grammatical aspects of Maithili. We will begin with a small classroom situation where a teacher and three students are meeting for the first time. Let us have a look at this animated conversation.
प्रणाम श्रीमान।
नमस्कार। अहाँक नाम की छी?
हम ललित छी सर। हम हिंदी भाषाक विद्यार्थी छी।
हम चंदन कुमार, हिंदी भाषाक शिक्षक छी। अच्छा, ओ के छथि?
ई अनीता मुर्मू छथि। ई बांग्ला भाषाक विद्यार्थी छथि।
अच्छा, अहाँके घर बिहारमे अछि की?
हाँ, हमर घर बिहारक दरभंगा जिलामे अछि।
दरभंगामे अहाँक घर कोन गाममे अछि?
हमर घर तरौनी गाममे अछि।
आ सुनील बाबू, अहाँक घर कतऽ अछि?
सर हमर घर दुर्गापुर शहरमे अछि।
दुर्गापुर शहरमे कतऽ अछि?
हमर घर दुर्गापुर शहरक कालीगंजमे अछि।
अच्छा, धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर।
In this video, the student named Lalit says pranam to the teacher. So, the word pranam is a salutation, greeting, or hello and hi, and it is used to show this deep respect to elders, such as teachers or other respected individuals, including as a traditional greeting. It is a traditional and formal way of expressing respect to elders or respected individuals. It is a type of greeting that shows intimacy and reverence. Namaskar, which is another way of saying the salutation, is another word used to show respect or bid farewell to the people. Its usage is similar to Hindi namaste, but it is often used in more formal or when addressing a large group. It is a traditional and formal way of expressing respect by joining hands. Sriman is a term of address by the student to the teacher. It is also used as a term of address by the junior to the senior in formal or official situations. Sir, which is a loan word from Maithili, from English, is also used by students to address their teachers. Ahak is a singular honorific form of second person pronoun aha. Aha means you. It is the genitive or possessive case. In Maithili, the suffix ka or ak in the consonant ending stems, as in plural aha sabhak, is added to the singular forms of the second person, which is high honorific and honorific pronouns. For example, you have aha, which means you, ahak, which means yours, apne, which means you, and apnek, which means yours. Please note that apne or apnek is a higher honorific form, higher than aha and ahak. Naam is used in Maithili for name. In colloquial Maithili, naam is also pronounced as now. Ki is a question word which means what. We can form information questions, that is, the questions that expect a reply from an open ended range of replies, with the use of question words like ki, which means what, ke, which means who, kon, which means which, kate, which means where, and so on. The ko question words normally occur immediately before the verb or verb phrase. For example, aha kechi, who are you? O kiche, what is that? In a yes no type question, that expects a positive or negative answer to the question statement. The question word ki can be used in sentence level initial or sentence final questions. For example, aha शिक्षक छी की or ki aha शिक्षक छी. Both of these mean the same thing. Are you a teacher? Now, let's see how the boy replies. Like aha, there are other pronouns also, such as which means I, o, which means he or she, and e, which means he or she, which is nearer. Let us have a quick look at the personal pronouns in Maithili. We will learn about the pronouns in detail later. So, in the table that you see, you will have a list of pronouns. So, the third person pronoun and the demonstrative pronoun E and O are the same in Maithili. There are two types of demonstrative or third person pronouns: proximate, which is something that refers to something which is nearer, and remote, or something that refers to which is far or a bit farther than the other one. The words vidyarthi and shikshak mean student and teacher respectively. K is a question word meaning who. Bhasa means language, and the suffix ka, which is an equivalent of English preposition of, it is added after bhasa to make it as bhasak. And bhashak would mean of the language. Did you notice the use of two different forms of the auxiliary verb cha? Cha, which is added with the suffixes. So we have a word called chi and another word called chati. Or chati word can also be read as chait. As in, hum lalit chi and acha. Okay, chait. So these two are two different sentences. Let us learn about the forms of auxiliary verb cha, which is to be. In Maithili, the verb form changes depending on the social status or respect level of the person being addressed or spoken about. And the auxiliary verb to be in Maithili is no exception to this. The auxiliary verbs in Maithili are used with different markers. Maithili has a system of verbal inflection in which the verb is inflected for person and according to the social status, age, sex, kinship, etc. Both the subject and the object are also marked on the verb. The Maithili verbs are always used either in honorific or in non-honorific forms. Honorific forms are used to express levels of politeness or respect, especially in relation to the compared social status of the participants, while non-honorific forms are used when the social status of the person in question is relatively low. The non-honorific forms are further subdivided into two categories. So you have something called intimate, which is the form that is used when the person in question is intimate to the speaker, and then non-intimate, which is the form that is used when the person concerned is not intimate to the speaker. When the grammatical subject of the auxiliary verb in Maithili is in the first person, the pronoun used for subject is hum or I. So, hum is the word for I. Please note that it is not the Hindi word hum, even though it is spelled in the same way. It is the Maithili hum, which is spoken with an extra stress on the O that appears after ha. There is an additional rounding after ha here. When the subject or the object of the Maithili sentence is in the second person, the auxiliary verb can have three forms according to the social status of the subject or the object. So, honorific form aha or apne is the pronoun used with this form. Non-honorific plus intimate form would be ton or tu. It is the pronoun used for this form. And there is something called non-honorific plus non-intimate form. And the pronoun used for this form is ton and tu. When the speaker or the object of the sentence is in the third person, then the verb in Maithili can have either an honorific form or a non-honorific form. The third person pronouns used in both the honorific and the non-honorific forms are E and O. Please note that ach, which is the form of B, shows an irregular morphological form which is not derived from cha. Ach can be called a suppletive form of cha. A suppletive form of a verb or an adjective uses a completely different root word, such as English's is, am, are, was, were. They're all, in English, as you know, they're all forms of verb to be, or better and best, are the best comparative and superlative forms of the adjective good. So they are irregular forms. Ach is used only when the grammatical subject of the sentence is in the non-honorific form of the third person. And cha is used in all other contexts. As present tense come social status markers, Maithili uses 4 inflectional suffixes: e, o, a, and ath. The suffix e is attached to the root cha when the subject of the sentence is either in the first person or in the honorific form of the second person. E is also attached to the root ach when the subject of the sentence is in the non-honorific form of the third person. The marker a or ah is attached to the root cha when the subject of the sentence is intimate form of the second person. The marker a is attached to the root cha when the subject is non-intimate form of the second person. The suffix athi is attached to the root cha when the subject of the sentence is in the honorific form of the third person. Thus, we get these forms. First person honorific is hum, chi. Second person honorific form would be aha, chi. Second person high honorific form would be apne, chiaik. And second person non-honorific form would be ton, cha or ton, cha. Second person non-honorific form would be ton, chan. Then third person honorific and non-intimate form would be e, o, e chati or o chati. And third person non-honorific form would be EH या OH. The same can be used also for non-human or inanimate things as well. These forms of the auxiliary verb cha to be are for the present tense. The forms in the past and the future tenses are different. We will learn about these forms later when we learn about the verbs and tenses in Maithili. Now let us continue with the conversation Lalit and his teacher was having. Here we have a new question word, kata, which means where. We have already discussed the question word ki in ahaka ghar Bihar mein achki. Is your house or home in Bihar? The word ghar means house, but this is used in Maithili to mean something like place of origin, as in ahaka ghar kata aj, which literally means where is your house or home. The words acha, हाँ, jila, kon, and gam mean well, yes, district, which or which one, and village respectively. May is a postposition, and unlike English prepositions, postpositions in Maithili occur after nouns and pronouns, etc., like most of the other Indian languages. In earlier conversation, there was a term called babu. Babu is an address term which is used to show politeness and respect. The English equivalent for babu would be Mr. or gentleman. It is usually added only to the first or proper name of a person. For example, let us take a name, say Gopal Jha. We can address him as Gopal Babu, which is another term of address used in Maithili. Ji is a polite form of address used as an honorific suffix to show respect. Similarly, similar to Mr., Miss, or Sir, or Madam, but without implying a difference in status or rank. So, when you say Ji, the word Ji can be used for both men and women. It can be added to first name or the surnames of the person. For example, Gopal Babu can also be said as Gopal Ji. Now, let's look at a different scenario, a different setup, introduction, and greetings. So, look at this animation video.
भाई प्रणाम।
निके रहू।
अहाँ सब कुछ नीक अछि ने?
हाँ, नीक।
Here, pranam has been used in a more formal situation to greet a respected or elder person. Bhai means brother, but it can also be used to address a stranger or an elder or a socially respectable person, etc. And the other person here, who is an elderly person, Madan, blesses Ajit by saying Nike Raho, which means stay well or may you live well. Neek means good or well, and Nike is its adverbial form. Rahu is the imperative form of the verb rah, to stay or to live. With the suffix u used for second person honorific pronoun aha, 9 is used at the end of the sentence or statement to form a question tag and ask for confirmation in Maithili. In conversational Maithili, speakers frequently use tag questions instead of yes or no question. For example, O शिक्षक छे ना, which means basically he is a teacher, isn't he? तो माधव छो ना, you are Madhav, aren't you? So this is a question tag. Now let us take another conversation and see how it goes.
अहाँक नाम की छी?
हमर नाम माधुरी राय अछि।
हुनकर नाम की छनि?
एकर नाम मीना छैक।
माधुरी, अहाँक घर कतय अछि?
हमर घर सहरसामे अछि।
मीना, अहाँक घर कतय अछि?
हमर घर झारखंडक गिरिडीहमे अछि।
आ अहाँक नाम की अछि?
हमर नाम सुनीता अछि।
अहाँक घर कतय अछि?
हमर घर उड़ीसाके कटकमे अछि।
अहाँक नाम गीता दास अछि ने?
नहि, हमर नाम गीता दास नहि अछि। हमर नाम गौरिका बरुआ अछि।
अहाँक घर गुवाहाटीमे अछि?
नहि, हमर घर शिवसागरमे अछि।
की अहाँ संताली भाषाक विद्यार्थी छी?
हाँ, हम संथाली भाषाके विद्यार्थी छी।
We learned that the genitive possessive form of second person singular honorific pronoun aha is ahak. Now let us learn about the genitive possessive forms of other pronouns. In the genitive possessive case, the suffix er is added to the singular forms of the first and second person pronouns. Some morphophonemic changes do take place. So, with hum we make hummer. So with to we make tohar, which means yours. The third person pronoun and the demonstrative pronouns are the same in Maithili. There are two types of demonstrative pronouns: proximate, which refers to the person or the object which is nearer or within sight to the speaker, and remote, which refers to the person or the object which is either far or within the sight or not necessarily within the sight. The third person demonstrative non honorific pronouns are also used for non human objects, both animals such as kukur and inanimate, something like bhat, which is kind of a rice. Let's have a quick look at various nominative and genitive or possessive forms of third person singular pronouns in Maithili. We will discuss pronouns later in detail. So, here we have E, O, E, hinkar, ya hinak. You must have noticed that in the above conversation, we have a different form of cha or to be than chani. In hunkar naam ki chani. That is because in Maithili, the verb form changes according to the social status or respect level of the person being addressed or spoken about. And here, since the possessive pronoun hunkar refers to O, a different form of the auxiliary verb cha, that is to be, becomes chani, and chani has been used here. If the pronoun were ekar, then the auxiliary form would change and would become chaik. So chaik would be used with it as in ekar naam meena chaik. Now let us learn about negative sentences in Maithili. We will discuss negation and negative sentence later in some other lessons. Nahi means no or not. The negative particle in Maithili normally occurs before the verb. So, do not consider this lesson as a very hectic one. This is just an introduction. We will be visiting all of these things again. This lesson was only to give you an overview of how Maithili looks like, so that at least you are able to speak a few words when you meet someone who knows Maithili. Thank you all. We have come to the end of today's lesson. I hope you learned something new, and we will again meet in the next lesson. Thank you.